Welcome to episode 162 of Rebirth Revolution. My name is Melissa Olson. As we continue the wind down on this podcast, I want to remind you of some concepts that are both evergreen and of the moment. Here is one that we are watching in real time as we watch the carnage at Twitter. Here's the deal. Every student in this school is in a constant struggle. We are in every moment being pulled between the light and the dark. This struggle comes up with every decision we make in life. The accumulation of those choices decides if you are moving upward or downward in your spiritual awareness journey. There are two ways that you can immerse yourself in the darkness. One is a function of being at the lower levels of spiritual awareness. That is inherently a very dark place. A low-level person thinks very dark thoughts. That is the world of their choice at this point in their spiritual development. The other way that you can be pursued by the darkness is if you are bringing light into the world. This is because in all things there must be opposition. In this case, the darkness is the opposition. If you bring light, the darkness will come for you. The more light you bring, the harder the darkness will come for you. The way to tell the difference between the two is to see where someone started out. Some people have done nothing but dark things since they have been in this school. Others have started out in one place and been dragged backwards by the darkness opposing the light that they were bringing into the world. We've seen it since the beginning of time. Someone will bring beauty and wonder to the world, enhancing the lives of all who are touched by their work. They will be recognized as special people. And then the story takes a very dark turn, and they succumb to scandal, addictions, crime, death. And every time we act like we never saw it coming. Some are lucky enough to have a comeback. Most are not that lucky. For those who are caught up in this tragic cycle, it seems like we all need to recognize the pattern and try to interrupt its trajectory. This can happen to all who bring light, not just the rich and famous. Think of it this way. You do something really well. You are successful. Your initial motives were pure and fine. Others see that you are succeeding. Sometimes the darkness will get to you through other people. So, here come the hangers-on. Here come the barnacles. Here come the people who want to capitalize on your success. Here come the people who want to elevate their own social standing through their proximity to you. Here come the unscrupulous who tell you how you could have made even more money if you had cut corners that they know about. Here come the people who will systematically strip you of the money you made. Here come the people who suddenly find you sexually attractive. Here come the people who tell you that you really aren't that special because you don't look like they think you should. Here come the people who know how to use your insecurities against you. Here come all the people who need to define their own personalities by following other people they perceive as being more powerful. Sometimes the darkness will attack from within. Here come your own insecurities, maybe the exact ones that fueled you to achieve fame and fortune. You convince yourself that mistreating others will make you seem like a big shot, a more important person. You decide you must, in fact, be better than other people. You judge everyone because you fear you might not be as special as you have been led to believe. You decide you have power over other people. You decide you are above the law. You decide your money makes you better than people who have less money. You become addicted to the praise of others. You decide you deserve to have sex with the people who never would have had sex with you before your success. You may even think that you should be able to have sex with people who no one is supposed to be having sex with. You reject the guidance of anyone who dares to challenge your fragile self-perceptions. And that's the worst of all. You decide you are no longer subject to the laws of checks and balances. This seems to be the most powerful pull the ego has, and it will most definitely end up destroying you. It will destroy you because you will make choices that reflect your belief that no one can check you, and you will spend most of your time and efforts trying to silence and destroy anyone who would challenge you. In this day and age, things like Twitter can make you sick and tired of checks and balances. It comes at you like a tsunami. But if you can be honest with yourself, you will see that complete strangers can see the quadrant of you that is not currently within your own focus. They will point out the flaws in your logic and the inconsistencies in your thoughts over time. It is brutal, but could contain valuable information that will help you move forward more quickly than if you didn't have that input. And here we are, watching a man spend $44 billion to try to control the conversation about him and his belief systems. This man is sinking deeper and deeper into the darkness on a daily basis, and it doesn't appear there is anyone in his life who can pull him out. He's not the only person who is currently in this spiral. There are more than a few we are watching circle the drain. This is nothing unusual. It is a spiritual law. In all things there must be opposition, and each and every student of this school will struggle with the forces of light and darkness. We just don't all do it on a public stage. Another important spiritual law to understand is that when we toy with the darkness, we give it more and more power over our lives. You may think that you can dabble, but the longer you make choices that align with darkness, the easier it is for the darkness to cease being a choice. The darkness can take you over and use you for its own purposes. But this is because you invited it in and you let it stay too long. But who wants to invite darkness in? Most people tinker with what seem like the more innocuous forms of darkness, like gossip and judgment. It is hard to get through life here without having participated in some of that. It's a cultural staple, like in the Housewives franchises, the Who Wore It Better brand of journalism, the world of entertainment, and the world of politics. It is woven into those areas of life in a way that is hard to extract. People who are still at the lower levels of spiritual awareness choose all of these forms of entertainment, mixed in with sides of lying, cheating, and stealing. One of the things I've figured out about life is that there are many people who spend their entire lives jockeying for social position. They want to be better than others. There are two ways to try to make their move. They can either explain what they have done or what they have that makes them better than everyone else, or they can try to talk everyone else down, which they feel lifts them to a higher status than those they gossip about and judge. Of course, once you reach higher levels of spiritual awareness, you grow past caring about your social position. You neither feel that you have to convince anyone else of your worth, nor do you need to convince anyone else of the lack of worth of another person. These pursuits just no longer bring any payoff. It is interesting to watch those who are currently grappling with this struggle, and it is almost mind-blowing to see how someone can start with the minor thrill they get with provocative speech and watch as the darkness takes them down entirely. They somehow start with the joy of getting extra attention through punching down, and before you know it, they are either full-on Nazi or QAnon. The end game is always about the hatred of marginalized people. The fuel is always hatred and exclusion, never love and acceptance. As they descend into the darkness, they become more and more dependent on the voices of those who worship the darkness as well. These voices give them everything they need to just go one step darker, one step darker. They give them praise and acceptance, which is all they wanted all along. But now they have allowed themselves to be dragged back down to the lowest levels of spiritual awareness. Every lesson they learned previously will have to be learned again. They will have to start from scratch. This may not seem like a big deal, but every grade level you earn your way into, through the choices you make, opens you up to more of the light. The light gives you the way to see the world around you with so much more love and acceptance and appreciation. You see colors more brightly. You feel more deeply. You see more of what makes this world miraculous and precious. You are less drawn to the dark and chaotic. You draw to you people who are like-minded, which means that you will probably move away from some people who are still happy with their place in the lower levels. You live in a way that is steeped in love and peace, and you are capable of constructing the life that reflects your ideals. This state of being is what you are shooting for. Let other people play out their own lessons, but do not be pulled into them. They can offer you insight into the human condition, but don't ever make the choices that will make them your own condition. You can have so much more. Thanks for returning for another week of Rebirth Revolution. Another one down, 2 more to go. Rebirth Revolution can be found on all the podcast apps, the music apps, and full episodes play on our YouTube and Facebook pages. You can find all episodes on rebirthrevolution.com. Please download, rate, and review whenever possible. Until next week, observe humans as if you are of another species. Look at the patterns and keep choosing the light. Remember, you are loved exactly as much as every other person on the planet, not 1 ounce more or 1 ounce less. Stay strong and safe and loving.